Cities are defined by the experiences that people have in those cities.
This is Ty Tabey. He's a Wichita native and an economic development and urban planning consultant. And this is Troy Hauptman, Director of Park and Recreation for the City of Wichita.
We have this need to have this connection with other folks, and whether it's here in Wichita or other cities across the country, and there's really this push to bring people together in public spaces.
You know, I would argue that in Wichita, people spend a lot of their lives in cars driving from point A to point B, and as a result of that, there's less of a public sphere. You know, this isn't really just a quaint notion of making cities more interesting. It's real economic development.
Well, I'll talk about one big one, and when we did the Open Streets event, September 24th, it was on a Sunday. A Sunday, most of the businesses downtown are closed. We activated it with closing Douglas for 4 miles, and we had 18,000 people come down there with their bikes. The restaurants were full, food trucks coming downtown. We had all the stores opened up. The economic impact was huge.
People want to fall in love with the city that they live in, and places like this that are created out of alchemy. It's a human characteristic to seek out great places to watch the world go by, and these kind of opportunities really provide those spaces.
So what is Wichita's next great public space? And how can we use it to transform our city and spur economic development?
20 years ago, the Keeper of the Plains, the reinvestment that occurred related to it was really transformative to the River District. You know, what is the next Keeper of the Plains?
Part of what we do in the Parks and Recreation Department is really kind of emphasizing on those gathering spaces, places where people can get together. It's not just enough just to have the spaces, but they have to be activated. They have to have some kind of programming to go on with it. And so one of the challenges that what I had when I first came here 3.5 years ago is I went to go look at this NAFSCR park right downtown. How can I activate this park? And it's a great location, it's a great place, and as things are starting to happen all around it, we needed a space that was a little bit flatter and open so we can actually host different types of events there. Also kind of do some great programming there as well. So that's what we're kicking off, and actually we took it to council last week, and we're going to be closing the park May 21st, and it's going to be about a year to 14 months worth of work.
There's always a challenge to get a project off the ground, and if it's a small project that has neighborhood support, it's a little easier to get something like that off the ground than it is to have, you know, like say Century 2, and what the prospects for Century 2 are. Public spaces define a city, and we need more public spaces in Wichita. I don't think anybody would deny that the Delano Streetscape project has been anything but tremendously successful. It's become a destination, but I guess the lesson is people can really sort of be empowered to lead projects that benefit their neighborhood.
We're now having some more music concerts in our parks, and that wouldn't have happened unless these folks came and talked to us and said, what is it going to take? And we'll work with them on partnering on making that happen. It's just having that engagement, those conversations, those partnerships, that's really critical.
As the city and individual neighborhoods work to create a higher quality of life, it won't just make it a better place to live. It could also attract companies that are specifically looking for quality of life for their workers.
As we're trying to attract companies here to Wichita, these folks are looking for a healthy workforce and great places for them to recreate and enjoy.
To me, the future of the city is about creating public spaces. My hope is that people will better understand that public spaces not only drive a city competitively in the way of economic development and population growth, but it also improves the quality of life of a place.